amazing thing, as I said at the beginning, is that the network is a sort of platform for platforms, getting together probably the kind of people that is here today, so people that are interested and passionate about platforms, and is actually doing it with a huge vision behind. So thanks for joining, Marina. Thanks for being here with us.
You can listen to me?
Is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for being here. It's a pleasure. And first of all, I would like to introduce myself. You can see the presentation. Yes, and you can see me, I guess. Okay, perfect. So I'm Marina Planas. I'm industrial engineer. Coming from 17 years in the automotive industry. And it was on 2016 that I have the opportunity to participate in an executive program of MIT. And is where I got passionate about platforms, when I discovered them, right? Their powerful business models and also the complexity, as we have seen it with Carmelo, right? And so I come back to Barcelona, eager to become an entrepreneur, but without the one key element that it was the idea, how I should start with, right? So I started doing advisory and partnership with different technological startups where like Wallbox, EV charger, like Capture is a SaaS, and Orain, that was a IoT platform. And there in Orain is where I met Sabrina, my co-founder. And then we realized 2 years ago, and we founded TheNTWK. So our venture, you know, I'm coming from corporate, Sabrina is coming from the startup world. And we say, we were coming in a flight from doing a presentation and a training in a customer. And in the flight, we just say, hey, what we don't do, and we do lead by the example, right? And what we don't do, the platforms of platforms. So helping professionals and not suffering as we have suffered, right? To learn about this kind of business model. So we create the network, and which were the problem that we want to solve? Like Camilo was saying, right? Focus on the problem and not the solution. So we know that all the information regarding platforms is, and all the know-how is too fragmented, right? Is without, we have to Google it, and there is a lot of information. And also we know that there is a study that says that just the 5% of executives responsible to drive a platform strategy in their companies declares that they have the sufficient know-how. So there is a gap of knowledge here. And also we like also to use this ship, right, of Simon Torrance, and we adapted. That is so important that companies have this kind of a platform strategy settled down, because there is the big ones, they are fishing there. So if you are little fish, they are going to fish you. But if you start doing a platform strategy, it's going to be hard. So what is the network? So as we said, is like the network helps companies on their digital business model transformation journey. It's a hub of knowledge and talent where you can find everything related of platform-based business model, and not just platform. We are switching to digital, no? Because we know that Web3 is doing another era. So with NFTs, metaverse, from training to consulting. And the most important for us is our community. So what is saying our community? Because we are saying, what do you think, community, about the network? So basically you see here just a few ones. No, it covers a gap of spread knowledge. I like the different ways of sharing knowledge. We have the pills, we have talks, we have interacts. So for example, the network is a community of innovation, learning, and fun, and ultimately love it. So why platforms? Why we decide with platforms? So because, you know, there are, maybe because I go to MIT and just make a clash? No, not just only for this reason. Because McKinsey is saying that, is stating that the 30% of the global economy will go through a platform in 2025, that it's just around the corner. Not just only for that. Because they have one reason why we are focusing on this digital business model. Because when we see the top 100 platforms, the study that is Ecodynamics doing, we see that is 60% the top 100 platforms based on market capitalization are from Americas. Then we see 28% from Asia. And Europe, we have this 3%. Come on, we have to do something, or Africa. What is behind that, right? What are the things that we have to do to just catch a little this difference, right? So one of our motto is let's do something big made in Europe. So researchers, academics, professionals, we have to work to understand which is the problem. Like Carmelo was saying, right? We have to be very clear which is the problem. Once that we understand why Europe, why Africa, we are behind that, then let's go and work for the solution. So everybody that wants to join to this challenge, please contact us, right? Because we want to do that. But wait, what is a platform? I'm going to go very fast in this part because basically we have talking about, but a platform for us is like the infrastructure where you put in contact producers of products, services, content, consumers, individual companies, machines, and they interact and exchange the value. But we are seeing, right, platforms every day almost. But always we want to highlight that not all that is digital is the platform business model. So it's important that you have and you pay attention that what is exactly a platform, right? The benefits of the platforms, and also you will see what is the difference of an e-commerce, for example, of a platform. That is always there are two sides, right? And the value is created outside is not created by us. For example, no Airbnb, or Airbnb doesn't host any hotel, and so on. But very briefly, also we want to just highlight the benefits, right? Platform scale exponentially, are more efficient and have flexibility due not to having inventory and neither tangible assets. For example, the hotels, right? How much time do you think that Marriott has to invest to open a new market versus Airbnb? You know that from months or years to weeks, like is doing Airbnb, right? So another important thing is the flexibility. We have seen with COVID time how easily these operating models have been able to pivot, for example, Uber, right? From the lockdown, we didn't see any taxis on the road, but then they switched to this Uber Eats. So is a important point. And the king of the benefits, right? And the desired network effects. What does it mean, the network effects? Is that means that the more people use this platform, the more benefit for the user. So what is going to do the network effects is provoking entry of barriers for competitors. So at the end is the more value has the platform, the best for the users. So also is an important thing to take into consideration. But what do we say to these professionals, these companies, that they are these little fishes that are on the sea and just being a boy to get from the big companies, no, the technical ones? We say always that there is the strategy, they have to apply the strategy of the 3 Bs, right? You have to know if you want to build one platform, you want to buy one platform, or become part of one platform, because it's going to be a different scenario, right? But neither you choose one of these strategies, how we should start on thinking about that. And this here I would like to present what we like is to show our journey, right? On the network, we like to start these steps. And always the first thing is, okay, let's start from the beginning. Recognize what type of platform do you like to be? You want to be a marketplace, doing matching, a transactional platform, matching producers with consumers. You want to be an innovation platform. You have a SaaS, for example, like Salesforce, and you want to open developers to develop on top of you. You want to build a community, like, for example, TheNTWK is doing, or is an aggregator. So depending on the one you choose, you will have to behave in a different way. Second step, detect the building components. So who is going to be the stakeholders of your platform? Who are going to be your producers? Who is going to be your consumers? Who is going to be your client? That is not exactly the same that your consumer. It means that who is going to pay you, right? For example, Facebook. We are the users and we are the consumers, but we are not the clients because we are not paying. Well, we are paying in a different way, but not with money. Okay? So the third one is how to launch a platform. So if when we are starting and we are doing entrepreneurship of a company, it's hard. But platforms, I have to tell you, it's harder. Because why? Because we have two sides minimum, right? So we have to start with always know how we should start with the chicken or egg problem. So, and here always what we recommend is just start from the hardest side to come to your platform, right? And then how can I lock people, right? And stay in my platform. So the fourth step is to detect the defensible mechanisms that we have. So the crucial, and always we focus so much, are on the network effects. Why? Because it's going to make these kind of barriers, right? Why there is not, for example, so much social network like LinkedIn, because you have to, you are building, you are contacting people, you are building your network on LinkedIn. If you go to another social network, you have to start from zero again, right? So this is the importance of the network effects. Another important thing, for example, an example of network effects, is that interaction makes valuable the app. For example, Waze, right? Or Google, right? Maps. So if I'm going and with the traffic, I want to go from A to B, and I have the users that are reporting there is a traffic jam, there is an accident. So they're giving value for me. So also this is a clear example of network effects. The next point is monetization, right? These business models is difficult to monetize. This is the reason because traditional companies always they have to start building this kind of platforms. Always we suggest that they have to do it aside because is not the same metrics. They are not exactly the same kind of monetization strategies, right? So it's not a P&L, like we have to see revenues and the EBITDAs, for example. It's going to be another KPIs that we have to see interactions. We have to see which is the value that is created there. So liquidity, there is another KPIs that we should measure, right? So the important thing here when we are starting with a platform is which site we should monetize. For example, Airbnb, to the host of a room, to the customer, to both, right? So you have the example of Airbnb that we are doing to both sides. But for example, Facebook is doing to a third party, that's a companies that wants to make ads. So it's not the producer, it's not the consumer, it's the third party. Or, for example, WhatsApp. We are not paying for that. They tried to do it, but they see that it was a friction and people were leaving that. So it's an important topic here, the monetization, because, money, when you have to pay, create friction or usage. So what we do on the network, once that you have the problem, they see that there is a fragment, information, we want to see, okay, how we solve that. So we want to solve that, making the one-stop shop for platforms that bring together companies, academics, consultants, entrepreneurs, and venture capitalists to connect and exchange knowledge, to better understand what it takes to build and run platforms is how we are doing. For us, all voices are more than welcome, and you see in our mission and in our values, so what we are saying, that we're going to centralize all the information. We want, like, our name is the network, is like an umbrella that all the nodes that are in a network can be from our brand, but can be from other brands, and we have links and we interconnect. So we want to learn from the others. This is all of our values, and we know, we want to, Americans, that is, they are learning also and sharing these learns, and when we have a failure, we have to learn to failure. So we are doing, for example, on the network talks, and Daniel and Philip, always we are talking about, let's and share your learnings of your failures, because I think is where we can do that. And it's not digitalized, this knowledge yet. Estelle always are more than welcome, and we are very hands-on, because neither Sabrina and myself, we don't come from consulting or neither teaching, as we love to teach, I will have to say, but we're coming from the companies, so we are used to make it happen. So we want to work on projects and lead by the example, and then we talk how we are suffering building now, a platform. And next, this is a spoiler, but we like to also build NFTs or a DAO. So we are working on that. After the summit, you will see. And, if people that know us, we work with passion. Always, we have to have fun. If not, it's not in our target, right? So who is with us? So we have 130 countries visiting us, and also people that stay for the first time, they come, and we have a 51 MAU. What I put MAU, this is a metric that we have to measure engagement. Traditional companies, we will not see, and will not measure a MAU. For us, is important. For us, is important human, the people, right? And learn from the others. Who are these people? Are the networkers? And who we have here? We have more or less is like 33% of entrepreneurs, 30% of consultant, 21% corporates, 7% venture capitalists, and 4% academics. So academics, please join us. I think we have to balance all these voices. At the end of the year, we like also to talk about with our networkers and our community. And this is what they said about the last year for them in one word. What does it mean last year for you? And you can see that community, all these related building communities, work with each other, has been the biggest one. Then metaverse, no? This year has been when the explosion about NFTs, metaverse, collaboration, DAOs, and so on. And always we prefer to read and to listen, no? Which is the voice of our networkers, and just a selected sentences of the takeaways about the digital business model of the last year. And I want to read you a few ones. It's like, platforms are not what we thought, and there is still a big path ahead. So we must be questioning the model to help it evolve and manage expectations. So another one is like, focus on how digital businesses model create or unlock value for customers through interactions. Another, and I like this one also, is like, start quit from the winner takes all, which will be beneficial for society. I think the Web3, is Web1 is we can read, Web2 we can read and we can write, and Web3 is read, write, and also we can own. So Web3 is going to be a change gamer of these DAOs, of these decentralized organizations, and the benefit for individuals, right? And also, this one definition is nobody is an expert on digital businesses models. Why? Because there are 50 years of adaptation coming toward us, right? And the only constant thing in digital business model is the change. Yes, technology is going to challenge us, right? So quick and so fast. So just to have a look, what we are doing is that we aggregate and we curate articles. We have all the courses regarding also business models. We have also all the events from us and also from third parties. I will say it when we ask also for the people, say, which is the value that you see on the network. We have a touch point every week that is the network talks that we interview. I interview 20 minutes, but then it's a debate with networkers. So, and we talk about always related of digital business model. And why we do this? We get feedback. We try to get feedback from all our events and also from third-party events. Because why? Because we wanted to get data. We want to improve. And which is the objective? Always to asking for feedback. And today we will ask you for feedback also at the end, you will see. Because we want to curate, right? We want to see which are the top, now, okay? We want to see that is, which are the top events, right? We have, which is not the network or not Marina that is saying, no, the first is the MIT Platform Strategy Institute or is Symplatform, right? It's the community that is going to tell us which is the best. So at the end, it's like a TripAdvisor, right, for content. Then we have also for the different webinars, which are the best ones, or also from different courses. Which course should I do? I have people saying me, Marina, which course do you recommend? And I say, I will prefer that is the community saying if you are an expert or you are starting. So it's the community, the power of the community that should say to you which is the course. Exactly the same from our internal events. So for the network talks, we have this top 3 for the last year. Just tell me this. I'm sure that you will know who is Themba Bayoli from South Africa, but it was a top-rated one, and it was incredible talking about the build a minimum lovable platform that brings value. And then, for example, investing of business with network effects with Julian Wright and Andrew, or from Rob Chestnut, the chief ethical officer of Airbnb. But from the top 3, there are, yes, 2 people that they are quite known, in this, on the platform wall. But the first one is not so much, but it was sharing great insights. So for us, it's important the thoughts at what we share. So this is why we also interview everybody that can give us value. Then there are the interacts and also the articles. Just for finishing, I'm not sure, I'm trying to do very fast because I think we are out of time. But what is the powerful of a community, is that you can work together and you can build things together. So during 2 years, because this I didn't mention, but we born with COVID, right? So we started working just when it was COVID. We launched our website. And so we meet each other, just as Daniel was saying, digital, connecting through LinkedIn and starting to do this kind of meetings. So I think it's time that we meet in person. So the community also was telling us, come on, let's meet in person. So this is the reason that we say, okay, let's do in Barcelona a summit. It's the 5th and 6th of May. And what we're going to talk is like from physical to digital assets, right? It's platform, of course, but also it's what is coming, the NFTs and the metaverse that and we say is the future, but it's not the future because it's today, right? And also is our motto is let's do something big made in Euro. So this reason that we want to join forces and to learn how we have to do that, and also then go to Africa and learn and try to develop of this knowledge. So for all the attendees, you can scan this code, and you have this code that at AMBA SAM22 if you want to come, and it's going to be a discount for you guys. So what we say always to our customers, to our networkers, the change is imminent, which role you will take, which role you are going to take in this digital ecosystem. You are going to be the orchestrator, which role you want to do, right? Or if you want to be a platform, are you want to be still this little fish, or you want to be like a shark, right? So are you ready? Your company is ready to do this change of mindset? That doesn't mean becomes from traditional to a platform. When you do this transition, is like value is not created inside, it's created outside. Traditional companies is quite difficult for that, not to open on that. It's like the marketing, you are not doing marketing. Have you seen WhatsApp doing marketing? No, it's because the community, the people is referring one to others. This is the main difference. So in fact, it's a dramatic mindset change. So I think we need to help on these companies. So just for finishing, is like, belong to the leading community on platform. We started with platform and now we are switching to digital thinking because, there is technology, this is the blockchain that is going to change also the world. So thank you very much. And I'm just here to listen all your questions.